This is a 10-shilling note, first introduced more than 100 years ago. These were the first notes to have colour on them, and they were printed on postage stamp paper. And take a look at this familiar face. This is from the Bank of England's Series C. This entered circulation around a decade after Queen Elizabeth took the throne. It was the first £5 note to have a photo of a monarch on it. And that set the template, which has lasted for decades, including the now old paper banknotes. There we are, there's an example. This particular design was introduced in 2000, 8 years after Charles Darwin was put on the back. He was then replaced with Jane Austen when the new polymer tenor was introduced in 2017. Thing is, how important is cash now? Well, there were 6 billion cash payments made in 2023. That's down 7% from the year before. And with people using cash for only around 12% of all transactions in the UK, you might wonder if it's still important. But for some, it is pretty vital. Around 1.5 million people mainly use cash for spending. But with a declining number of people relying on cash, why bother?
Banknotes are really important still. For about a fifth of the population, they are their preferred means of payment. A lot of people are actually dependent on banknotes. So we think it's really important that we keep producing banknotes, and we want people to trust those banknotes. So one way that we do that is updating the security features. So one of the key things that we'll be keen to do in our next series of banknotes is to look and see what is the new technology, what is going to make it most difficult to counterfeit.
So the new notes will have a bit of a facelift, new security features, but what will actually feature on them? Well, the Bank of England is asking for your contributions, your ideas. The consultation's open until the end of the month. They've identified 6 main themes. So they are historical figures, arts, culture and sport, architecture, innovation, nature and historical events. So what would you like to see? Should they carry on with the current theme of historical people, or are there other iconic British sites you'd like to see on the notes? Get in touch in all the usual ways. Don't forget to leave your name so we can give you a mention. Any thoughts, any ideas?
Well, I don't know whether you've slightly ruined my ideas, because when we were thinking about this, I thought if the BBC Breakfast viewers were going to vote, I think we'd have to say a dog, a pet of some kind on a banknote.
Yes.
Cute little
iconic,
Cavapoo.
iconic British dogs.
Iconic
British bulldog.
I was thinking more of a fluffy poodle, but yeah.
Any particular?
That says everything about us, John.
And I think they're looking for ideas. You don't even have to sketch it out. So you're not relying on your own art skills, which is probably a good thing.